global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news for you, and the headline reads, Fearless Senator Abaribe, DS Presidency, moves against Buhari on this. See details. But before we go into the news proper and further analysis, would you like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button below. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Okay, let's go straight into the news of the day. The bill sponsored by Minority Leader of the Senate, Abaribe, is tagged Armed Forces Service Commission and Other Related Matters 2020. In the proposed bill, which passed the first reading on the floor of the Red Chamber, the Senate said it seeks to ensure that no zone is left out in the appointment of service chiefs. If the bill scales through, the appointment of Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Air Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, Director of Military Intelligence, and heads of other arm-bearing security agencies shall be made subject to recommendations by the Armed Forces Service Commission, which is scheduled by the bill with the responsibility of ensuring that the federal character principle is applied in the selection of the service chiefs. The Commission shall have the power and authority to pursuant to Section 219 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, to ensure that the composition, appointment of service chiefs of the Armed Forces of the Federation reflects federal character of Nigeria in the manner prescribed in Section 217, subsection 3 of the 1999 Constitution. The Commission shall ensure that the functions specified in Section 217 of the 1999 Constitution and the powers exercisable by the President in the appointment of service chiefs and officers, corps, and other ranks of armed forces in Section 218 of the 1999 Constitution reflect federal character, where the number of available positions cannot go round the 6 geopolitical zones of the Federation. The distribution of the appointments shall be done between the North and the South equally. As from the date of commencement of this act, the Commission shall have the power to recommend to the President from among the best and most qualified, most educated, most experienced members of the armed forces of the Federation for appointment as Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Air Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, Director of Military Intelligence, and heads of other arm-bearing security agencies, and ensure that such appointments reflect the federal character principle of Nigeria, the bill said. Wow. This is a good one coming from Senator Abaribe. We all know that as at now, some few days back, few weeks back, few months back, in fact, it's almost a regular occurrence in Nigeria where Fulani herdsmen have been doing one mayhem or the other. The southeast is not left out, the south, the southwest. In fact, that's some of the reasons why Amotekun was formed, because of the level of insecurity that's going on. It's not in doubt that the security chiefs, that's chief of services of security heads in Nigeria, are predominantly from the north, not just north, but northern Fulani. So it's no longer news that it poses some sort of threat. When Fulani speak so much hate, and when they incite, since words that incite instability in Nigeria, everyone seems to put a blind eye towards it. That there's this federal character over the Fulanis right now, as we speak, probably because they are in charge, both in the service chiefs, both in the presidency and the rest. So to speak, they do some certain things that they seem to have this, ability to get away with it. But other tribes feel marginalized, they feel misrepresented in the issue of the federal Nigerian administration, so to speak, because the key juices when it comes to defense, every character, every tribe should have some sort of representative. But as we speak, it's as if Nigeria is actually owned and run by the Fulanis, which is why they seem to have a few days, which is why up to today as we speak, Fulanis have not been proscribed, and when they are caught in the act, they seem to, through the back door, seem to have a way of escape. But this one is a good one coming from Senator Abaribe. That's one wonderful senator we have there who's always bold. I don't know, it's bold. Honestly, I give it to him. But before we go to full analysis of what what's possibly going to be the benefit of this bill if it is passed into law, or the fact that it may not see the light of day, let's hear what Nigerians are saying generally. Here, this one said the president of Nigeria is one of the most powerful presidents in the world because of the enormous power given to the president by the constitution. It is a good and welcome development. I commend the National Assembly for taking this bold step in the right direction to check the president on appointment of the heads of security chiefs and the heads of other arm-bearing security agencies from being lopsided as it is today. Passing this bill shouldn't divide members of the National Assembly on party line, and either should anybody or any religion feel that this bill is tagged at NGMB, that's General Muhammad Buhari. Not at all, but any person that occupied the office. Our politicians are too selfish, tribalistic, and feel not secured when surrounded by people from other tribes. The fear of military taking over power from politicians is the main reason why the president preferred to have the heads of the armed forces and other arm-bearing security agencies to come from a particular region or zone. But the president has forgotten that the people power can prevent the military from taking over power from the politicians, and at the same time, the people power can be used for forces the president to step down from the office. I'm in support of this bill. This one says it's a good one, and that one here says good thinking, great project, well done. And that one says God continue to brace up your bravery. Beautiful, it's overdue. Nigeria is for all, not a tribe. Well, it's a fear of the unknown. Well done. This one I say bravo. Thanks to my respected minority leader. All right, you've heard what the Nigerians are saying. Let's brainstorm. Like one has rightly said here, we shouldn't be divided in political lines. We shouldn't even be divided in ethnic lines. We can't take the fact that not just in the southeastern region, almost all regions in Nigeria are being affected by the level of insecurity and insurgents have taken over Nigeria. And each time the head of chief security officers and the head of services keep talking. I'm talking about the security ones now. Security chiefs keep talking. They keep telling you they've technically defeated one insurgent or the other, but we keep hearing them each time they make that statement. It looks as if they even invoke or annoy these guys, and they do more. Every section, and look at Benue is not exempted. Benue the other time they had to, bury so much of their, their indigenes. Just fairly recently, Ohaneze Ndibo had to, tell the federal government that look, this whole issue of Fulani is coming into the southeastern region and doing all manner, and the police heads seem not to be talking. The reason why the security people are not talking so much is because they take all that from the security chief, and who's the security chief? House of Fulani. So why would you tell his brother to be proscribed? Why would you tell his brother to be arrested? Even if he's arrested, just to speak language or to have that tribalistic meeting here and there, he'll be released. But imagine a situation where the head of army is from the north, the head of the police is from the south, the head of navy is from the west. It's mixed technically, so everyone is well represented. So everybody's watching each other's back, because look, if you misfire here, I'm representing my people is expecting so much from me. And when we go for the presidency, I've gone into meeting with the service chiefs. It's not a case of he has gone meeting with his brothers. Yes, because everybody here is the same. Everybody is the same, from the same tribe. So it's as if he has gone into a meeting with his brothers. So other tribes are like, whether they want to sell Nigeria, we don't even know. Or we just know when they come back. By the time the brothers do all manner of mayhem, no one corrects them. No one. It's as if the law is lopsided. It's for some certain tribe of persons, and it exempts some certain tribe of persons, and does not augur well for a unity of Nigeria. It brings division, divisibility. You begin to see divisibility everywhere, and you begin to see some citizens becoming and feeling more superior than the others, simply because of the level of lopsided appointment we get to see as service chiefs. So if this bill, if everyone in the Senate can look beyond party lines, beyond their noses, beyond their selfish gains, beyond the fact that it's my brother, because the matter is, if you think it's my brother thing, is there a middle belt person there as service chief? No. Is there a southwesterner there as service chief? No. Is there an Igbo man as service chief there? No. So this time around, take away party lines, remove party lines, let posterity begin to speak. Think about your children, think about your grandchildren, think about Nigeria, think about your constituency, think about the people that have brought you in as a senator and do the needful. It's not all about this whole law thing is about the people. They elected you. The electorate elected you. You are supposed to be their voice. You're supposed to represent them. They are all encompassing, but you are their voice as one. So you begin to put yourself in their shoes. What would be the right thing to do? To reduce the power, the enormous power in the hands of the presidency, by ensuring that if there's a bill to that effect, if it's passed into law, there will be some sort of commission to that effect, where now the best hands will be taken. That's another thing again. We need to be very careful so that it won't be at a point where some other tribes are due for promotion or to become a service chief, begin to see some sort of genocidal kind of tendencies, where a particular tribe, when it gets to their time to get there, they wipe them off, or they will give them on an assignment. But then that's left for them to decide. But let there be a law saying that every tribe should be well represented when it comes to security, so that this whole insurgents here and there, and everybody seems to be keeping quiet because it doesn't affect a particular set of persons. It's what is bringing this up, and it will all go well. You can imagine the level of dirty talks coming out from Fulani headsmen, the issue of arm bearing in Anambra State, and the security officers were there. Nothing was done. No arrest was made, simply because even the security officer is also scared of his job. He doesn't want to lose his job. There are no jobs in Nigeria, so why would you want to lose your job over one or two statements? You're not even from there anyway. You're actually posted to that community. So why should you lose your job because of one community people? Your children are dead. They need food to eat, and you need to collect your pension after service. So why would you want to lose your job? If the order from above says ignore whenever it comes to Fulani herdsmen, then you should ignore. But imagine if it is well represented. There's nothing like ignore what? If you ignore, you report to the other service chief, they bring the matter up. It becomes a well-represented Nigeria. But it has passed the first reading. Let's see what will happen if other senators would pull this through, or is it going to be propaganda and a party and religious lines as usual? Stay tuned for more updates. Listen.